Bros, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope you're well. Guess what? Yeah.
No. Wait.
There's another Hawas. Yeah. Just when you thought it had reached critical mass, when you thought it just wasn't possible for another one to be announced, they done did the thing.
Why isn't it possible?
It's just not.
Why not, you stupid bastard?
And that's not all. There's also a new Parfums de Marly, a pretty big Parfums de Marly most likely, and a new little bit of Lattafa sprinkled in there as well. So, a few new things to talk about, and also, more Hawas. Yeah, more Hawas.
You can't keep getting away with it!
So most of this information I'm gonna give you is from ifragranceofficial.com. Also some of it I found just searching the internet, looking around for stuff. But yeah, Hawas Majestic. We talked about that one last time that I went over some upcoming new releases. And at the time, kind of, made fun of it. Because when you look at it, it's in a red bottle. Yeah, red bottle, gold cap. And like I said, I kind of made fun of it. I said, what if this is Rasasi doing Baccarat Rouge 540 alternative way after that ship has sailed? Now you could read into that and go, Baccarat Rouge 540. And normally I would say, bro, that's insane.
It's true.
Bro, that ship hasn't just sailed, it sailed, something terrible happened at sea, everybody died, it's now a ghost ship just floating out in the ocean, half decrepit with like the sails falling over. And they were like, you know what? Hell yeah, I finna do that. Because like I said, I kind of made fun of it and I said, what if this is BR540? It would be like the most Rasasi Hawas thing possible. To come out with the clone, not late, but years and years and years and years later. And now the word of mouth online is that that's what it is.
How is that even possible?
Now I guess I should preface this by saying I haven't smelled it. And the overwhelming majority of people out there have not smelled it. So there is that, But they did have a launch event where, apparently people were there whiffing on that good old Majestic, getting wined and dined, just kicking it with the bros, the Rasasi bros. And yeah, some of the word on the street is that it's BR540. Now again, I haven't smelled it, so it's possible that that's incorrect and it actually smells different. But yeah, the kind of initial impressions that people are giving is that it is like a twist on BR540/BR540 Extrait. Early descriptions: citrus, lavender, cardamom, saffron, sugary amber woods, that kind of note breakdown. And that kind of, fits in line with a lot of the Hawas vibe right now, which is basically taking stuff that exists that's really popular, oftentimes putting a little twist on it, not going full one-to-one or anything, and then just dropping it out there. So I wanted to give that update. Again, for like the 50th time, I've not smelled it, and I know the overwhelming 99.9% repeating population that would even be interested in this hasn't smelled it. And obviously Rasasi themselves are not gonna come out and be like, hey dog, so yeah, what we did was that one right there, the one that made a lot of money for that other brand, we just did that, dog. That's us, yep, nice. They're not gonna do that, so it's gonna be something that we have to wait for it to actually launch, other than, friggin' influencer events and stuff. So yeah, that's the update. I made fun of it for being the thing that it might actually be, which makes my brain just like, it's no working. But that's not all. There's also another Hawas. This one is called Addiction. Yeah. So we got Highness, which could be taken two different ways. Princess, queen, king, prince, smoking way too much of something you shouldn't smoke. Then there's Overdose, which, and now there is Addiction. Cool. Can't wait for Hawas Rehab. That one should be coming before too long, I imagine. Good. So yeah, this new one, Hawas Addiction, it is apparently unisex, so it's not, listed for her or for him or anything like that on the front of the bottle. The note breakdown though, to me, reads very much feminine. So check this out. Top of cotton candy, marshmallow, ice cream, and caramel. Also known as congratulations, you have diabetes now, make sure to take your insulin shot. In the mid, coconut milk, regular milk, and vanilla. Is that really? Yeah, coconut milk and milk.
What the hell are you talking about?
For all the people out there who have ever smelled a fragrance and been like, yo, this has one type of milk, it just ain't milky enough. Can I get some more, please? And then the base, cedarwood, moss, and amber. So, whew. Now obviously, that note breakdown does not read like something made for me or for the majority of you out there, I'd imagine as well. Comes across, at least in reading, as something that would be overwhelmingly, almost disgustingly sweet and creamy. Ugh. And here's the funny thing about that. When Hawas Glitz was first announced, this was the note breakdown. Let me know if this sounds familiar to you. Cotton candy, marshmallow, ice cream, vanilla, caramel, coconut milk, amber moss, and cedarwood.
Wait, what?
It's the same. And also in terms of the presentation style, very, 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 very similar as well. But here's the wrinkle to that. If you go to Rasasi's actual website, RasasiExclusive.com anyway, you can see the note breakdown is bergamot, nut, pear, which just for the record, guys at Rasasi, if anybody watches this, specify the type of nut. It just looks funny when you're reading the note breakdown and you're like, oh, nut, my favorite.
I am nuts, Jeff! Get with the program!
Then in the mid, there's ambery, geranium, orange blossom, orris, and rose. And then in the base, caramel, musk, powdery, sandalwood, and vanilla. So there are some shared similarities as far as the note breakdown goes, but obviously that's a very different note breakdown. So at some point along the way, they announced Hawas Glitz with the wrong note breakdown, because that note breakdown was actually the note breakdown for the upcoming future Hawas Addiction. And then they put them in very similar looking bottles. And they do say that Hawas Glitz, I believe, is for women. Yeah, Hawas for her, Glitz. So that's right on the front of the bottle. Whereas this one, again, is unisex, Hawas Addiction. Now I can't tell you off the top of my head how Hawas Addiction is gonna smell, what it's gonna smell similar to or anything like that, because I'm not crazy into, collecting and wearing women's fragrances. So I only know about a few here and there, really. The big ones that come out, but I can't just immediately go, addiction with this note breakdown, oh, it's inspired by that, plus this put together, Does not look interesting to me at all. Will I buy it? Probably, because I'm a sucker. But yeah, wanted you guys to know a new Hawas once again has been announced. And this one has a note breakdown that's the same as a previous one, but the previous one had that one changed because I guess it wasn't correct. Is it possible that this one gets changed as well? Yes, I guess that is possible. But right now, that's what it's showing. Nice. What was it I said last time that they were gonna clone? Like, Aventus, I think, and Stronger With You. I'm gonna speak it into existence. I'm speaking it into existence. It's coming next. What a mess. Oh, and also just a super quick update on Hawas Sapphire. So Finn reached out to me from FB Fragrances, and he was just like, hey man, so the one that I said was gonna be sent to you, that's still gonna be sent to you. So I did buy the other one, like I said. So whenever those come in, I'll do a giveaway when I do the review, hook one of you guys up. As of right now, nothing is shipped. And look, fair play to FB Fragrances. Like, Hawas has been, and it still is, a huge line. And it's not his fault that they're putting out 10,000 different fragrances across the same name, the same line. And frankly, if I were him, I'd be kind of annoyed. I'd be like, dude, like, not a great look. Why are you doing this to me? What are you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
Up next, I'm gonna let you guys know about a fragrance that was announced, I think, a long time ago, but you can actually start to find it now. Before that though, a bunch of different codes you can use while shopping for fragrances. So I've got codes for JOMASHOP, for Fragflex, for Perfume Box, and more. They're also in the description so you can copy and paste. The Lucky Scent code is no more. It's not working right now. They did reach out to me about like setting a new thing up, so we'll see how it goes. But everything else is down there. You can copy and paste anytime you shop at those stores to save yourself some cash. All right, so the fragrance is Boss Bottled Beyond Eau de Toilette Intense. Do you even remember that? Yeah, Boss Bottled Beyond EDT Intense. So that was announced earlier this year, and it has been basically crickets, like absolutely no noise whatsoever. I've not seen it pop up at any discounters. I've not seen it pop up at any of the stores that I buy from in Europe, and have stuff shipped over at $15 billion per bottle. Not seen it pop up at Macy's, Nothing. And even on Fragrantica, it has 9 votes. 9. That's not many. That is not a large number. Actually, there were 3 perfumers who made the fragrance, so if each one of them voted for their fragrance 3 times, that would be the entirety of it. Or I should have said, I guess, if each one voted once, they would be 1/3 of the entirety of the votes for the fragrance. The note breakdown sucks. It sucks. Leather and orange blossom. Huh? Yay. For when 3 note breakdowns is just 1 note too many. 2 note breakdowns. There are more perfumers for this fragrance than there are notes. Anyway, I was going through an airport, international airport. I was down in Mexico with the family for a little bit. And on the way back through, I went through the duty free. I was just looking through all the fragrances at the duty free killing time, and it caught my eye. Boss Bottle Beyond, Eau de Toilette Intense. I was like, wait a sec, is that for real? Yes, it is. And I did buy it, and I have worn it. So I'll do a video here before too long on that scent. Just initial impressions, actually, it has much more of a fruity opening than you would expect with that note breakdown. Like, it's clearly got a good little dose of citrus in there, a nice freshness to it, a little bit sweet as well. You know, vaguely in the realm of YSL Myself fragrances, kind of like in that overarching style. Super easy to wear. I would say much more easy to pull off for guys than the original Boss Bottle Beyond. That one was like a little bit classier. This one is a little more versatile, anytime type of vibe. I'm not sure why this fragrance was relegated to the purgatory of random duty frees, and nobody seems to know or care. But if you are going through an international airport and you have a duty free nearby, stop in, see if it's in there, and spray it on, see how you like it. Just do be aware you're gonna be hounded by a ton of different people trying to sell you every single fragrance that they have there. All right, next, the new Latafa. This one is called Fahad. Note breakdown wise, it's got pineapple, mandarin, and black pepper off the top. Then in the mid, orange blossom, lavender, and artemisia. In the base, cedar, incense, ambroxan, and patchouli. Ambroxan. Now I'll tell you what I think this should be, not what it necessarily is, but looking at that, what would be kind of cool is a new hybrid fragrance once again. Because hybrid fragrances are all the rage right now. And this one, pineapple and mandarin off the top, maybe a little Aventus cologne type vibe. And then the orange blossom as it dries down, give us a little bit of myself in there. YSL Myself, since everybody is making Myself hybrids nowadays. It's like the cool thing to do. I'm not saying that's what this is at all, but it's what it should be. Because then you're taking 2 of the most popular, super versatile fragrances ever, especially when we're talking Aventus, and just smushing them together. And that right there would print money. Probably, if it didn't suck. The bottle to me looks very bland, blasé, especially compared to some of the out of control, strange bottles that are in the Middle Eastern fragrance sphere. And this does have 2 perfumers' names attached to it, which does kind of coincide with what's happening with some of these Middle Eastern brands where they're trying to be like, no, we're a serious fragrance house here, guys. We don't just make inspired buys. No, we have big name perfumers working with us. We're for real. Trust me. And of course, as is usual with any new Latafa, you're gonna have a lot of initial like pre-launch hype on this one. Actually, the lid looks pretty cool. That doesn't come across in the photos that I saw before. It's got like a panther head in there, like Black Panther, sick. Or it's kind of like a Transformer Black Panther. Check that out, nice. But like I was saying, yeah, anytime you got a new Latafa coming out, pre-launch, you're gonna get a big bunch of hype. So take that with a grain of salt. Just be aware you're gonna see that. So as is pretty much law at this point, a new fragrance got announced the day after. Again, this time it's a new Valentino, but not one of the Uomos, not one of the Born in Romas. This one is called Vendetta, which is kind of interesting because that's a name that they've used before. This one right here, Vendetta pour Homme. The new one, Vendetta Uomo. They switched it up. And this one is actually already available to order or pre-order on Valentino's website. So you can do that like now. And the price on that one, $170 for a 90 mil. Or at least like 5 minutes ago it said you could pre-order. Right now it says notify me that it's out of stock, so who knows? But yeah, 170 bucks, 90 mils, or 140 bucks for 50. Now the old school version right here, you can actually get for less than that. And this one is obviously discontinued. And this has a fat note breakdown. I'm not gonna read you all the notes, but here are some of them. Bergamot, basil, coriander, lemon, aldehydes, vetiver, cinnamon, cedar, geranium, jasmine, labdanum, benzoin, leather, tonka, amber, and more. Here's the note breakdown of the new one. Ginger, cinnamon, liquor. Fireball? Were you talking about Fireball? It smells like Fireball. And then finally, patchouli essence. Yeah, you will notice that is 3 notes. Valentino, how dare you. Now, if you go to their own website, it does offer a little more info on them. It says, sparkling ginger from Peru, delivering a zesty and aphrodisiac freshness. Nice. Then a mid of exclusive cinnamon liquor accord, offering an addictive, spicy, and gourmand warmth to the trail. And then finally, base note, patchouli essence, magnified by carnal woods, wrapping the scent in a powerful, vibrant, and bold woodiness. They also have how to apply, so if you don't know how to spray a fragrance out of a bottle, they got you. Thanks, Valentino.
Thank you.
The description from the brand reads, Vendetta Uomo Eau de Parfum, the new fragrance for men by Valentino, a bold, woody, spicy signature as the scent of unstoppable passion. The olfactive pact between the zesty brightness of a fresh ginger shot and a spicy licorice, woody depth, licorice, not licorice, liquaris. This composition offers a bold and magnetic presence designed for a confident and free-spirited man. So I'm pretty pumped about this because for a while now, Valentino has been just born in Roma or Uomo. And traditionally, Valentino has actually had a number of different lines. They just kind of fell into that one and said, this is what we're doing for now, I guess. So to see them bust out something new, it's pretty sick. And just looking at the vibe of the scent, it looks good. It's a nice counterpoint because most of those Born in Roma fragrances are decently sweet, some of them more so than others, but that's kind of the focus, like fresh meets sweet, that's the whole vibe. Here they're talking woody, spicy, warm, so something completely different. I'm realizing now I should have put in the pre-order when I had the chance, hopefully it'll pop back up, but just know Vendetta, not this one, is coming out soon. And if you're curious about this one, this is actually kind of like a more throwback style scent, like Halston Z14, kind of in that realm. It's pretty good on the cheap if you like that type of scent. Back to me in the past. And finally, the new Parfums de Marly, Althair Exclusif, which is kind of interesting. At the same time, we have French Avenue doing Eau de Brun, which is like the probably fresher version of this fragrance style. You've got PDM coming out with the deeper version. So this is gonna follow up on Leighton Exclusif and Pegasus Exclusif, right in that style, right in that wheelhouse. Now, a lot of places do not have the, or really any places, have the full note breakdown yet. The original, of course, a little bit of citrus in there, elemi, orange blossom, vanilla, also cardamom, guaiac wood, and praline. So those were kind of like the main notes there in the OG. But online, people are saying that the new version, the additional notes, the ones that are gonna kind of like move this in its own direction, are amaretto and saffron. Now again, there's no confirmed, locked in, hard and fast, like this is the note breakdown yet. That's just kind of what's matriculating all over the internet. And the tentative release date is in like mid to late September for this one. I gotta admit, I do like amaretto. I like amaretto a lot. I think it smells really nice. That does though kind of put like, you know, sweet on top of sweet. Saffron as well can also come across pretty sweet depending on how it's used. So I would say that's the only trepidation that I have, is that maybe, you know, the original's already pretty sweet. You're adding in these other sweet notes on top, maybe it becomes something where you're like, a little bit sickly, you know? Because with Leighton Exclusif and also Pegasus Exclusif, the difference was they were made a little darker, a little bolder. They were given a little more edge. And those two notes, at least, don't really scream that to me. So it seems like this is taking kind of a different path, a different style of being exclusive. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, because if every single exclusive every single time was always like, yeah, it's the same thing, but check it out. It's a little bit more animalic, okay? It's a little bit more niche. Yeah, it's a little bit darker. If they did that with every single exclusive release, I guess maybe you run into the risk of it becoming old hat, but we'll have to see. Let me know what you think in the description if this sounds good, bad, or neutral. I think because of my love of amaretto in general, I'm gonna tentatively say it's gonna be good, with the caveat that if it is just like an overload of sweetness, even more so, then that might be a little rough. But if they do give it more of a grown-up vibe while still keeping the same sort of overall scent profile, DNA and everything, that could be pretty sick. There we go. New fragrances. Let me know which of those you're most excited for, which ones you think are gonna be a nightmare. Thank you for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.